Savage. I'm going to be talking about my introduction to comics and how you can get into it too. My later shows are going to be mostly about specific issues, and that's between DC, Marvel, Image Comics, maybe even some Valiant. But if you're thinking about getting the comics and you've never picked up one, this is the show you want to see. So, starting at the age 8 or 9, back when I was living in New Brunswick, we had two stores, Marple Comics on George Street and Comic Attitudes, which was on, I think it was on New Street. And my mother took me into Marple Comics and bought me Iron Man 299, where he faces off against Ultimo. And it was pretty cool to me. Like, I saw the cover. All I needed to do was just see the cover and knew I wanted the book. And that was back when comics were roughly around like $1.25. Going price for one now, brand new, $3.99. So the industry is booming. So if you're thinking about getting into a comic, you just go buy cover first. Like, if you like the cover, give it a chance. You don't have to keep buying the issues. If you don't like it after issue 1, 2, or 3, then just give up. But that was enough to get me going. Now, if you're one of those people who got into comics from watching movies, like, oh wow, this X-Men movie is amazing, Avengers is amazing, well, why don't you try checking out the book? Like, the books are cheaper than the movies, and almost any comic book shop you go to is gonna have a bin. It's like roughly like $1 a comic, sometimes 4 for $1. Go in there first. Don't go into the bins that are like waist level and higher. Go into the ones that are on the floor, because those are the ones that are usually like unkempt and they're willing to sell them for like really cheap. That'll be your introduction into the comics at a low price. Now, if you wanted to talk about newer books, I got a stack right here. Some of my more latest books that my pull list from my local comic book shop. Red Hood, who was formerly a Robin, died, resurrected, and came back as a vigilante who was willing to kill, is still one of my favorites to this day. Look at that. That's the evolution of Red Hood right there. Yeah, you got Batwoman on the hood as well, on the cover. He's come a long way, and the issues are still good. Great writer. Met the guy before, Scott Lobdell. Like, the guy, he wrote for X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, Generation X, and the guy is like really nice guy. And one of my old classics, because I am 35 years old, Savage Dragon. To this day, I still collect Savage Dragon because it's simple, it's to the point, it's violent, and it just keeps me coming back. Yeah, and don't let any of your kids see this though. Very mature. Daredevil. Like, I know almost everybody saw the Ben Affleck movie. If you weren't a fan, that's okay. A lot of people weren't. I had no problem with it. The movie was just good. It could have been better, but nothing tops it like the Daredevil series on Netflix. Shameless drop there. But that's what got me into the comics. The Daredevil comics are awesome. Like, to see what he can actually do. I've been collecting it for maybe the past 8 years. Never got into volume 1, but when I did come on, the series was still good. And I didn't even realize how good the stories were before I got into it. So I'm gonna suggest Daredevil for people who are still kind of new to comics, but they want to try something that they can kind of like create their own pace with. And for those of you who are as old as me, you're gonna understand this, because this is a character who's been done over and over again and seems to just get better with time. Punisher. He's simple. He's a man, military training, guns in the streets, and he kills. He does not put people in prison, he just kills them. Alright? If you're a criminal and you're doing heinous things in the neighborhood, he's probably coming for you. Like, if you lived as long as I did, then you must know about Punisher. Like, even people People, if you hear about it on Netflix, you walk by a person who's wearing a shirt with a white skull on it, it's most likely Punisher. Just give it a chance. Like, so, no, this is a good run for, I guess, for like new people. Like, for the first show, this is what I'm gonna leave you with, because I don't want to overload you guys. But please leave any comments, any questions in the section below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Savage, signing off.